I was going to go easy on you, not to hurt your feelings.
You f***ing irritate the shit out of me!
I'm only going to get this one chance. It's just a feeling I've got. Like something's about to happen, but I don't know what.
All I hear, go get the money. So I go get it. Hate means I do something right. So I'm a
What up, peeps? Here we go. Welcome back. Gap Sell Keenan, number 74. Let that sit. I know it's been a while since we've been here. Have you guys missed me? Have you missed this environment? Have you missed the Gap Sell Keenans? I have. I love doing these. But no one wants to do them. Do you know how many people hit me up saying, hey, got the greatest widget in the world. You got to set up 15, 20 minutes to give a demo or to talk about it, blah, blah, blah. And I say, yeah, but I do all of my sales calls on Gap Sell Keenan. And they're like, oh, yeah, no, I'm not interested. So they know their pitch sucks. So they know how they're going to go about sucks. So they just want to waste my time, but I'm not allowed to waste their time. So for those of you who are new and you're wondering, what am I talking about? I'm talking about Gap Sell Keenan. You are now watching or about to watch a live sales call. A real salesperson with a real product or service that they believe, feel very comfortable, can solve one of our problems here at ASG. And so they're going to sell me. So you get to watch. Now, if they don't do a good job, they get my coaching and I have to set them straight so you can learn from them. That's what this is about. Learn from other people. All right, everyone? So I'll be checking out the comments here. Let me know who's here, what your questions are, and let me bring in our next contestant. It is Jose. Jose, I forget your last name. Jose what? What do I got?
Alvarenga.
Alvarenga. All right, we got Jose Alvarenga with Whova.
Whova. Yeah.
Whova, you think you're going to sell to Keenan. Okay. So, my man, welcome, Jose. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. You got 30 seconds to a minute to tell us what your product or service does so I have some context. And then the floor is yours, dog.
Yeah, appreciate the time, Keenan, and opportunity. My name is Jose Alvarenga. As Keenan mentioned, I work for Whova. I'm an account executive. We're basically an all-in-one event management software company that helps organizers streamline the entire event planning process from beginning to end.
Slow down. An all-in-one what?
All-in-one event management software company.
Event management software company.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically helping organizers streamline from beginning to end. So think about event registration, marketing. At the end of the tunnel, it's more of the reports, statistics, and stuff like that. From an attendee's perspective, it's basically an app that helps get access to your event content, network with each other. But from a high-level perspective, a business focus is helping organizations improve their brand awareness, struggling with attendee satisfaction, and making the best use of their time hosting events. So that's a little bit about us.
Okay. All right. Have you read the book?
Yes, sir.
Did you do a pick chart?
I did a big chart. I've gone to a couple of your trainings. I've been a long follower, bit silent since 2020, 2021. So I've actually experienced your events firsthand, and that's why I think I can help.
All right, let's fucking go. You are on the clock, my young friend.
All right, let's get it. So Keenan, again, I've been following you for a while, attended a lot of the online trainings for individual contributors, as well as some of the Gap webinars. I am curious though, what are the events that you are hosting? Do you typically do anything in person as well? The only thing that I've been aware of is the tour that you did with Beck on Flip the Script.
That's it.
Cool. Is there a reason behind not doing any in-person events?
Primarily because we're so busy and haven't been able to really find the time, number one. And number two, I'm still trying to figure out if they're going to be worth it. Lots changed since COVID, man. And I'm not sure people like to get up and get out of their crib and like to get up and get on a plane to go somewhere. So we're considering it. We've thought about it, but we haven't committed yet.
Yeah, it's understandable. A lot of people think that it is a lot of effort hosting in-person events. I'm not sure if you get the return that you're expecting. Now, from Flip the Script, I am curious though, did that help you generate any leads? Was that a tactic to improve your brand awareness, or what was the mission, the goal behind that?
Of course, the goal was to try to definitely improve brand awareness, but also drive leads, and didn't drive leads at all.
Did you have a process to capture them? What was the strategy behind that?
Well, Beck was the mastermind behind all of the infrastructure behind it. But yeah, she had a way of capturing them because when you registered, we got all their information. Like you couldn't just show up. We had a certain amount of numbers of people, so we could see who registered for each event in each city. So yeah, and then of course we had our sponsors. So yeah, we had a way to capture them all, of course.
Yeah, makes sense. And for the focus of this call, I do want to focus more on your virtual events, specifically for individual contributors. I know the moneymaker is more of the group trainings that you do with companies, but where I think we can help is more on the gap selling methodology trainings that you do. It seems you host them every 2 years or so. Do you know which ones I'm referring to?
Every 3 years?
Every 2 years.
Host a what?
The individual gap training methodology trainings.
Oh, yeah. No, we host them on that probably twice a year, maybe 3 times a year. It just depends on how busy we are here, the demand we've heard. So yeah, 2 to 3 a year, maybe 2, usually about 2.
Got it. And is there a reason? Is that the goal? Only hosting 1, 2, 3 a year. Do you want to host more of those?
No.
It seems for in person.
No.
So you don't want to host more of those?
No.
And can you help me understand maybe why do you host them in the first place? Because it seems your team does them as well, and some of your certified trainers, right?
Well, I mean, we all coordinate together, and the certified trainers we pick which. Okay, one of them we do because it's part of the last part of certifying our trainers. You have to do one, right? So we call it a beta. So we do those. So we have more certified trainers, and I guess we would do more in a year. But those usually only are highly discounted because we understand it's this person's first time doing these, right? But as far as the ones that we do that aren't really discounted, that's either me or one of these certified trainers, we only do those twice a year, either because we have a slow spot and when we've had requests, we're like, all right, let's do this for folks, or because there's something going on in the economy and we're like, all right, or we have had huge demand of individual contributors with their companies. The companies listen to this, where their companies won't pay for training. Or won't pay for training for and the salespeople are starving to learn more, so they come to us, and we create an affordable way for them to improve their selling skills because they can't get it at work. But no, we don't want to do more of these because that's not our line of business. We have the online training, so if people want to take the online training, they can take it, they can have it. We just added Gap Plus to that, so not only can you take the online training, you can join the Gap Plus, and then that gives you usually new training videos and other types of things and events that they can attend about twice a week. Not twice a week, but twice a month, right? So with that part of that subscription, you get access to the online training. So no, we don't want to take our live training and cannibalize our customers, and we're not built or no way designed to do a live training to individual contributors all the time.
Yeah, it makes sense, focusing on, what's going to bring the most help for a large company, multiple sales reps at a time. From the individual contributor trainings, though, that you host, has that led to any opportunities with a business? I don't know if you've tracked that or...
Yeah, of course we track it. Of course we track it. Yeah.
Typically, from when you host those individual contributor trainings, how many opportunities are you generating from the channel?
I'm going to say none. If my team's watching, you guys put it out there. I'm going to say none. Maybe, let's say one per. Let's go with that.
And usually about how many attendees are you getting for those?
Can be as low as 25, as much as, in the very beginning, we get 300. So I'm going to guess now, I don't know, between 40 and 60 maybe. I don't know. It's a good question. I haven't been on these.
And so hosting like these webinars, Gap Plus, the goal is trying to continue, right, expanding your brand awareness, your methodology. But I'm curious, how do you measure the success of these events if you're only getting attendee size? It seems it's decreasing, and one opportunity from each of those individual trainings.
Well, the one you just talked about, the ones we do twice a year, you pay. People pay. So if we get 60. Let me see. What did we do last time? I forget how much we charged. I think we charged $200, and I think we got 80 people. I think that's what it was. Now I think in my memory. So what we have 16 grand, 20 grand, 10 grand. So right. So even if we don't get a lead, we're making money.
Yeah, you get money from the registration, right? People who go to the trainings. So I went to one of those on 2022, and I also went to the newest one you hosted for GapSo for leadership, right? Becoming a GapSo leader last year. Are you planning to continue doing more of those for leadership? It seems like for CROs, it's something that you've been doing, at least for the Gabinars.
No, the Gapinars we're going to do every 2 weeks. Now here's the deal. Stop, pause. Jose, I asked 85 attendees. Yeah, okay, thanks, Sean. 85 attendees last time, and we charge 199. Okay, so there's how. So you say, well, why do we do it? We don't get leads. Right there, we charge, we make money, right? So, and it's a 1-day session, right? I mean, any business that can make 16 grand in a day, it's not a bad thing, right?
Right.
Right. So, but Jose, and everybody paying attention, Jose's fallen into the trap. If this is a real sales call, I'm getting frustrated right now. You're asking all these fucking questions about how I do things and when I want to do things, and you haven't tried to find a problem. So I'm saying, why am I having this fucking conversation? I'm having it with you because, you know, you wanted to be on the show and I'm trying to help you learn, but you got to put yourself in my shoes right now. You're asking me all these questions about my fucking business, and I have no idea why it matters. You said you're an event company, okay? You asked me about events. I was with you for the first 3 or 4 minutes. I do events. I don't do events. I don't want to do more of these. I will do more of these. I've got Get Plus. You could ask more questions about that. I told you I do them twice a week. I told you it's part of an ongoing subscription model, right? Great. You have enough. Why the fuck are we still talking? Right? Like what, how is this conversation help right now? Everybody pay attention. Jose, is this for you? But everybody listen very closely. How has the last 3 or 4 minutes of this conversation helped me?
If it hasn't helped you, it's all been just questions, get me information about your physical literal.
Yes. That's what people don't understand. Now, when you go to the doctor and the doctor starts asking you, tell me where your stomach hurts, describe the pain of 1 to 10, how long has it been hurting, where does it hurt exactly, do you have any family history, does it hurt when you move in certain instances, is it getting worse, is it getting better, and she's asking you all of those questions. Do you feel she's helping you or helping her?
Well, she's helping me a little bit more. She's trying to understand my situation.
Yeah, exactly. She's trying to understand what your problem is. I don't see how the questions you're asking me are helping me understand what problem I have. So if you did a pick, here's the question. What problem are you trying to find?
I'm trying to find low community engagement through your events.
Okay, watch this. Low community engagement through events is not a business problem. Everybody pay attention. All of you gap selling DIY people out there, this is why you mess up gap selling when you don't do it right. Okay, and Jose, you should have known this by going to 2 trainings. Okay, lack of community engagement is not a business problem. Why do people do events?
To generate leads, grow brand awareness.
Okay, so one of the business problems you could have found, I know you tried a little, I saw it, but then you bombed it terribly, is are we getting the leads we want, right? Are we getting the leads we want from our events? Now, if we don't want leads from the events, now you're kind of in trouble, right? What's another problem you solve?
I would say high employee turnover. Like your event staff turnover rate high because they're struggling with running events, work-life balance. They feel like they're busy doing a lot of different responsibilities. So just adding an event on their plate is too stressful and they go look for a different job. Okay,
good. That's not germane to me. Correct?
Correct.
Okay, what's another business problem you solve?
Low attendee satisfaction.
Low what?
Attendee satisfaction or member satisfaction.
Okay, if I have low member satisfaction, how does that translate? What does that translate into?
From my understanding, it's going to be low generation of sales or opportunities.
No leads.
Still back to the leads point.
It seems to me I could talk about low employee satisfaction or low ratings for my event, but if my event is for something other than leads, that might matter. But if it's for leads, then I already know leads is what bothers me, not the low employee satisfaction. But I can live with that. So there's one. So which one are you trying to find for me?
Low leads.
Okay. So okay, good. Go there then. Go there.
Yes. So if you're, how many leads would you like to be getting from these?
Come on, man. Ask the question differently.
What's the goal?
I'd like every single person there to be a lead. How's that? I'm gonna play with you on this. I want them all to be leads.
From the people who attend the individual trainings, how many opportunities what's the goal of opportunities you want to generate to go train the businesses and not just the individuals?
We don't have a goal. We have found that after having done at least 10 or 15 of these probably over the last 4 years, maybe a little less, that they don't turn into leads for the businesses very rarely. And so our goal is to create brand awareness, to spread the word of gap selling, and most importantly, provide an inexpensive, value-driven offering for individual contributors to learn gap selling and grow their sales skills where their sales organization will not invest in them.
By training these individuals, is the goal to have them spread word of mouth to their friends, their companies, and lead to some other channel of opportunities and leads?
That would be nice, yeah, but we don't build it that way. We're not that's not the goal because it's indirect. I can't track that, right? So we want people to love it, and then we want them to be evangelists.
And how do you measure if they love the training? They conceptualize, everything you're training during those presentations.
Well, we don't measure conceptualization because we do these. We don't have the time or bandwidth to follow them around or offer additional, training or products or offerings to start measuring or see how well they do it. So we don't offer one-on-one coaching behind it. That's not fair. I shouldn't say that. Some of our certified trainers do offer the one-on-one coaching, but as far as the classes itself, all 85 people, we don't. Now, as far as whether they liked it or not, we have a survey that we provide them at the end of every training via Alchemy, and it tracks about 8 or 12 different powerful questions. And so then we know what they think, and our NPS score on those is through the roof.
And how out of those, what's the service response rate from the attendees that are going to the trainings?
That's a good question. I'd say over 50%, maybe even 70. I don't know. That's a good question, but it's fairly high, I think.
That's pretty good. Now, from one of the other podcasts that I attended, it seems that you have tried to create the communities using Slack, if I remember correctly, but you didn't have someone who...
That bombed.
Could you help me understand why it didn't work out?
I don't know. Obviously, people didn't see value. We tried community managers for a while to post questions and answer questions, etc. For whatever reason, they didn't see value. So my feeling is most didn't go to get better. Most went for relationships. Most went to get something. Is it going to get me a job? Is it going to get me a lead? Everybody runs around the world. What am I going to get? You know what I'm saying? Not what am I going to give? So I don't know the answer. We did a lot of different things to try to get it to stick. We got it up to a decent number of people, and it just didn't stick. So we got tired of pushing it out.
That Slack group, was it per event? Was it just a cohort of everyone who attended?
It was open only to people who had taken gap selling training. So it was exclusive group. If you've gone through the gap selling training, i.e. through the online or through company paid or through your own paid like you did, you got access to Slack. And it kept growing and growing, but no one participated.
What did you try to get them to participate? Any gamification, any incentives?
I'm sorry?
What did you try to get them to participate more post the event? Any incentives, any gamification?
No gamification. We did create community managers who would go in and ask questions and reach out to people or respond to the questions that were in there. So we got a couple community managers to manage it. Still didn't go anywhere. So I'm going to stop again. Jose, oh my God, you've had me for 15 minutes. And I don't see at all how you even through your questions, how the fuck you can help me. You spent all this time talking about my Slack. What problem are you trying to find?
I'm trying to help you understand if the individuals certified trainers are getting enough leads.
I already told you, not trying to get it. I already told you. See, you don't listen. You don't listen. Everybody again, for everybody here, you gotta fucking listen. You got to listen. If you don't like my answer, I'm sorry. Customers will give you answers you don't like every day, but listen and take what they give you. I told you we don't do this for the leads. We do this for these reasons, right? And if we get a couple leads, great. I told you I've been doing about 10 to 12 of these, and people traditionally don't sign up. So if you know something that I don't know that I'm doing wrong, and that's why I'm not getting leads, then you should be asking questions like that. Try to ask questions to help me understand why I'm not getting leads, right? So you might ask questions like, well, who attends? Almost all individual contributors. Who is your ICP? Well, primarily CROs, CEOs, or global VPs of sales, or maybe head of enablement. Why don't they show up? That's a great question. I don't know. We market to them all, but it's usually only ICPs that show up. Sometimes small companies send their whole sales team. If they're a sales team of like 2, they send their 2 people because they get the full training for $400. You see what I'm saying? So you could ask questions like that to help me figure out why we're not getting leads. But you didn't even go to who shows up, Jose. This is why I'm frustrated with salespeople. And I love you and I'm glad you're here. But this is why I get frustrated with salespeople. You don't even know who my fucking leads are. You spent 17, 18 minutes asking me all these questions, and you don't even know who I'm trying to sell to. You didn't even ask a question what a lead would look like. Who do we target? What is their ICP? Why are they not showing up? Where do you get them normally? Do you see where I'm going here?
Yeah, I do see where you're going.
Yeah, you showed a complete lack of understanding of my business. You keep asking questions. Tell me if I'm wrong. You keep asking questions to find things that might fit your product.
The question series is focused on seeing how the product could be used into your trainings. It really is. I made a lot of assumptions already, thinking I know who your audience is, just given I've been an attendee, instead of getting you to communicate this live in the call, because you don't know where I'm coming from either. And instead, I should have changed to understand what's the audience that you're targeting. Is that audience being the ones going to the trainings? And even if this online trainings isn't a lead generator, it's to help those individuals, right, improve their sales skills, the brand awareness. With that said, I mean, how are you measuring brand awareness from those events?
We're not. Wouldn't even. I told you before. I wouldn't even know how. I literally said that before too, right? I said we don't follow up with them. We don't do anything to make sure that they're getting better with it. We give them the training, and away they go.
If you're not tracking it or thinking of a way to track it, then brand awareness is kind of a loose term up in the air. I don't know if you use, what common practice I see is reviews, getting like on G2. It seems that's something that you promote a lot.
Okay,
right?
couldn't give a fuck about G2, but let's just pretend. So this is what you're kind of missing, but let me listen. Does your product increase the probability that people give reviews on G2?
Not necessarily on G2.
Okay, then why are we talking about this? Jose, come on, man, stay with me. Why are we talking about G2? If your product does not increase the chances of the people who come to my training giving public reviews on G2 or something else, why do you even bring that up? Because you can't affect it. So if I buy your product, you're not going to change that, correct?
Correct.
Then don't bring it up. Again, everybody listen. Okay, go, Jose. I know you want to say something. Sorry.
No, you're right. Like, we can help improve the response rate for surveys at 50%. It's not bad, but it won't lead directly to G2.
Yeah, but I already talked to you about response rate. See, Jose, let me tell you what you're doing wrong. And everybody listen. Again, this is for everybody. Those of you listen, you should get better at this. You are spending way too much time fucking selling. All you're focused on is where can I plug in my product to what Keenan does. And we have told Gap sellers for years, people go through the training one-on-one, don't get the follow-up. Organizations who don't work with us through the follow-up, you fall into this trap every time. You interpret gap selling as another selling methodology. We say over and over and over, yes, your job is sales, but this is a helping methodology. And your job is to diagnose the problem. So I get to a place where I'm like, what I'm doing right now is not working. It's costing me X or Y, and I don't want to be here anymore. Do you understand the difference between that and, oh, my product can do this piece? My product can do this piece. Does that make any sense?
Yes, it does make sense.
Like, let me give you a perfect example, Jose. Listen, this is a perfect example. In my car, I have Apple Play, right?
Right.
You tracking? You know what Apple Play is?
Yes.
Or CarPlay. You know what that is?
Yeah.
Okay. In my car, you have to plug in the phone into your phone charger, into the car to make CarPlay come on. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay. The newest cars have CarPlay that is wireless now, right? Okay.
Yep.
What you're in essence doing is asking me, well, how do I plug in? Do I have CarPlay? Yes. Okay. So do you have to plug it in? Yes, I do. Do you hate it when the plug doesn't work really well and it goes off? Yes, I fucking hate it. Okay. You should buy my car now. That's the equivalent of what you've just done. I hate that my thing jiggles and messes up. I hate it. But do you think that's enough of a problem that I'm going to fucking turn around and buy a 70, 80, $120,000 new car because my CarPlay doesn't work right?
It's not worth it. Not a big
No, man. No. That is what you're doing. If I have a lead problem and you fix lead problems, then you got to find out what I'm doing now that's causing the lead problem, which is root cause, business problem, lead problem, root cause that you can fix. So I'm making this up. But if you have a new approach that markets the right people to get our right ICP on board, you've got my attention. If you've got a way that increases the chance that people after the end of this go talk about it everywhere, and I'm going to get 2, 3, 4x social media exposure, ooh, you got my attention, right? But if you haven't found any of that and you don't know what else is wrong in my environment, I'm not smart enough. Didn't think I had a lead problem. You're the fucking expert. You want me to buy your product. Why am I going to pay for your product? What is be different in my world that is going to be so different? I don't want to stay here anymore. And you haven't found that. So everybody here listening, I hope you're paying attention. That's what I just did to Jose. That's gap selling, not the stuff most of you think gap selling is by asking, tell me about your CarPlay, right? Oh, you hate, oh yeah, great. You should buy my new car because your CarPlay sucks. It doesn't work that way. The problem's not big enough. I'll live with it. I'll live with it. Did that help, Jose?
That did help a lot. Thanks, Keenan, for the feedback. I appreciate it. I came in thinking that the individual trainings would be something you would want to grow that could lead to potential opportunities with the businesses. Just like, the business not investing in training the whole team. So maybe making a case study from individual learners instead, but it doesn't seem that's something you're focusing on. The other angle I can play from.
I like this one. Hold on. I like this one. So what you're saying is you believe that your product could help or increase the probability that someone who went through my training will get their whole company to take the training now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ask me some questions that are going to help me understand how that's going to happen.
So it seems a lot. Could you help me understand why after the events, there's not more practice or trainings from attending to attendee or with the certified trainers?
It takes so much time. Dude, this is a time value equation, right? You've been through the trainings. Are they intense?
They are.
Is there a lot of information to learn?
There is.
Okay. So imagine if you were going to coach effectively to that. Could you do that in 10 minutes?
Nope, you can't.
No, you'd probably have to do it over many, many, many weeks or months, hours a week, etc., like therapy. Is that a fair statement?
Correct.
Okay. So therefore, in order to do that, we'd have to create a new product. Is that a fair statement?
Yes.
Okay. If you were a certified trainer for us, would you do one of these trainings for $100 an hour or less?
No.
No. It's just not worth the time. Is that a fair statement?
That's a fair statement.
Like you don't want to have an hour on your calendar every week for $80, $90, or $100 for 2 months to only make $1,600, do you?
It's not worth it.
You can't make a living on that, can you?
No.
So that's why we don't offer because now if people would pay $3 or $4 or $5 grand, right, for 3 or 4 months, yeah, I think people might consider that. But what evidence is shown, people will not invest in themselves, generally speaking, like that. They won't do it, particularly salespeople. Salespeople blow my mind. Okay, so we give this away free. We educate you. You can read the book. Then we go back to what we actually do. We sell to companies. Those companies pay us, and we deliver training to 50, 100, 500, 1,000 people. We do sales enablement. We change processes. We consult. We do the whole thing, right? That's how we do it. So it's really not our business model.
I see your certified trainers being very active on LinkedIn, posting, advice, sometimes DMing people directly. Where I'm shocked is that it took more than 2 years for someone to reach out to me for advice, even though I had consistently been signing up for the individual trainings, the webinars, and Celeste, huge shout out. You've been very helpful trying to give me some advice. But I feel there's lack of that offering. If I knew that I can get a little bit more hands-on to work on my pick, because that's what I struggle with, figuring out what are the business problems my product really solves. I would pay more for that. It would improve my
How
sales.
much more would you pay? How much more would you pay?
I'd be willing to invest $1,000 in that. From
$1,000.
Yeah.
Okay. So
that's an individual level.
Yeah.
Again,
Okay.
and I spread this to other people that I know. Kevin Chambers, shout out to you. We've been following you for a couple of years and trying to practice with our different industries, right? So we do role plays and having a community after each of the individual sessions, if they can role play with each other, or people who are active on LinkedIn, the individual contributors, the certified trainers can go mentor people and build them up to have a bigger offering, right? For more individualized trainings and coachings that can increase the probability of seeing someone successful in an individual contributor role that would lead to more pipeline from the business itself, if you're following me.
Okay, so now I'm going to give you a minute because it's been 31 minutes, and I know I interrupted and went on rants. How's everyone doing out there today? But I'm not getting anywhere. So I want you to tell me. I'm going to give you 2 or 3 minutes. Now, I'm going to interrupt you if you get this wrong, okay? I'm going to give you 2 or 3 minutes to talk about your product based on where you think your product might be able to help me based on what I've told you. You don't make shit up, but you can say, okay, so you're talking about getting more people to talk about it and get their work to sign up. You're talking about getting more leads, whatever. I want you to be very, very, very specific about what your product does, where you think it can help, and why.
For one, starting in the marketing sense, getting people who are already signing up for your events, providing incentives like games or prizes to bring other people to sign up to your events and increase the attendee size. During the events and after, improving the offering of value.
Okay, so why? So let's stay on that one to be simple. Getting more people to sign up. You missed a massive, massive opportunity in that right there. So, Jose, I'm going to say this is my biggest feedback to you right now, Jose. I don't think you listen very well. Now, out of fairness, it's nerve-wracking being on here. I get a little loud and animated, can scare the shit out of you, and then that gets you on your back seat. You're not thinking clearly, so I get it. So it could all be me. But when you just said we can get you more leads, that was nice. But you missed something even more important. If you're going to talk to me about leads, I even said to you, if you could do that, we should talk. What did you just miss right there? What did you miss when you told me that first thing you can help me do? When you said you can get more leads, what did you miss?
How we can help you get more leads?
Anybody listening here? Anybody who's been watching this whole thing? Jose should not have hit me up with I can get you more leads. That should not have been where he should have went. Where should he have gone as it related to leads based on what I told him? This is what everybody misses about gap selling. Your customers tell you shit. You should be on it.
Is it get more attendees who are focused on the individual trainings?
Nope. Anybody out here? Anybody? Bueller. Anybody want to go in the comments? Anyone? I literally said this to you, Jose. This is why I'm bummed out. If I was in person with you, I'd make you stand up, I'd give you a hug, and then we'd sit down and we would have a really, really hard conversation, okay? The gap, Richard Doggett was pretty close. The gap between IC leads showing up to revenue leaders and ICP. What? So no, Abdul, what's stopping you? No, Abdul, no. I looked you right in the eye, Jose. Tell me if you don't remember this. And I said to you, most of the people that show up are individual contributors whose company won't pay for training. So we do it cheap to make it. I said, and you said, that's why we don't get leads from it. I said, if you could show me how to get my ICP in here to show up to these things, then you might have my attention. Do you not remember me saying that to you?
Yes.
Did you not? So again, look at his head. Ding, 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 ding. Again, you're not focused on helping me. You're focused on you. You are so caught up in the fucking product and so caught in the same phrases and the same will help you get more leads. Right? You're not listening. Did I give you any impression we're having a hard time getting people to sign up? Look, I don't know how this shit works out there, and maybe you can teach me. But if we got 84 people to sign up at $200, is that low? Is that like, are we underperforming, or is that actually pretty good?
It's not bad. It's a good deal. There's definitely sales trainers that offer their trainings for $500, $1,000, even more. So I think your team could provide a bigger package with additional value propositions if we did more of those trainings that are customized to the individual contributors. And I did miss that point.
Okay, so let me make sure I get this in. So what you just said is, yes, it's not bad, but we could create more packages and blah, blah, blah. So, okay, thank you. So maybe we can create more shit. But is that what your fucking product does, is help us create more packages and creates a platform for, or are you an event planning company? Because I know we can create more packages. You don't help me with that. So why do I need you for that?
I would say what we're offering is a platform where you can mold that vision of the package you want to create. So it's basically a combination of Eventbrite, Slack, and LinkedIn basically built together to form this community where you can invite.
But I don't need all that. Why do I need all that? I've got Slack right now. I've got LinkedIn right now. We've got Eventbrite, and we have HubSpot. So everything comes out of Eventbrite, goes right into HubSpot. We market these people continually. I still don't understand any value in what you have to offer. And when you ask me questions like creating more, now you're asking me to create more work, which may make sense. But what you're not doing is showing me by creating more packages or how your product helps me create more packages that will increase the number of people buying them, that will increase the number of my ICP showing up. I don't see any of that. Does that make sense, Jose?
It does make sense.
So if I don't see that, why would I buy?
Circling back to the marketing component, you could get the individual contributors to bring more of your ICPs, which would be CROs. Who else are your ICPs?
Okay, I like that. How does your product increase that probability?
That all depends on your offering. So we do have some games to have the attendees.
So I have to change my offering again. Yeah. I'm not. You're not going to sell me on changing my offering. That's not what you do, right?
Right.
Yes or no?
No, you're correct.
So to try to sell me by saying I need to change my offering, I don't want to change my offering, right? We don't want to be in the business. You're asking me to take my business in a different direction. I don't want to do it. I don't know. We're here. I'll give you a hint. One of the things we are going to do is we're going to create. So anybody's interested, reach out to my team, Robin, Treasurer, Celeste. They are creating cohorts. So they are going to create 20 person, I think, 20 or 30 person. So I don't know the exact number. Cohorts, max, capped. And they will work with you over a 90 or 120-day period. Just that cohort, all working together to not only do the training, but then they're also going to do video review. They're also going to do deal review, etc. So that product is coming out. And that's targeting ICPs again. And that's creating what you just described, more follow on through, etc. So those are coming out, and we're going to provide that. So if anybody's interested, hit me up and DM about those cohorts, or Robin Treasurer, or Celeste, or Leah Borges, Borges. Okay, Leah, Celeste, or Robin. Okay, if you girls are listening, put your name in here with your @ they can reach out to you. So we have that offering coming out. Okay, but I'm not after that. I'm not changing the services. So tell me how you can help me without changing my business.
So our platform is basically where you can host that cohort. It's having everything combined in one place. So similarly, how you have the online training that people can purchase for $500, it's having that hub where you can put all your content, the communication, instead of juggling different softwares and having the attendees have a hard time getting the documents. Because I know sometimes with Eventbrite.
Okay, watch this. Did you ask me any questions on how difficult it is for us to run that type of event and getting the documents? Have you asked that question?
I haven't asked, but good question.
Okay, yeah, go on. Yep.
How difficult is it to put on the events, share the documents and content with the attendees?
It's not. We use a program called Profi. It's already the entire, have you heard of Profi?
I haven't.
The entire curriculum is already built in. So when someone shows up for a virtual event, they get a link, and that link takes them to the curriculum. And then they follow along. They can take their notes in there. All of the exercises are done in there. Everything's done in there. Now, can they talk to the other participants, and can they engage through that? No, they do that through the Zoom.
Profi, is that something you offer to people who are going to the webinars or just the individual trainings?
No, because the webinars are not curriculum based. There is no workbooks. There's nothing webinars required to give to the participants. Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
Okay.
Zoom, the chatting, that's only happening during the live session and training, right? How are you planning
Say
to
that again. Say that again.
You mentioned that for the communication with participants with each other or your certified trainers, that's only happening during Zoom. What about after Zoom is over? If people have questions, they can hit
their trainer up. They can hit their trainer up directly, but there's no open Slack channel. Maybe we had Slack, but no, they hit the trainer up directly. There's no open channel for the whole group to participate.
Yeah, Keenan, honestly, I don't think I have a big enough gap to help your team. If you didn't have that Profi, a Slack channel, to facilitate communication, then I think that's where we can fit in and really help streamline the cohort that can bring more business. But you have something in place, so I wish I knew that earlier. I wasn't aware, even though I've signed up for some events, that Profi was.
Because you didn't ask, man. Because you didn't ask. Yeah. You didn't come in to try to understand my environment. Everybody talks about. People ask me all the time, Jose, how much time do you prepare researching for a new customer call or discovery? How much? Take a guess. How much time do you think I prepare for a new discovery?
I would say an hour.
No, 5 minutes, 10 max. You know what I want to understand? I want to make sure I understand their business. That's all. That's all I want to understand. Do I understand their business? How does their business work? Right? Who are their customers, etc. After that, I don't research a goddamn thing. You know why? Because it does what you just did. It actually it blinds you to what's going on. You come in with all these fucking assumptions. You think you know what's going on, and you screw it all up. You didn't take the time to step back and say, what don't I know about a sales growth company? Right? What type of events do they put on? Okay. Do they do virtual events? Do they do in-person events? And then do they do webinars? And how are webinars different than events? So you kind of plumped it all together. You could webinars and event. Well, is it? But that's a different type of event. So you then didn't help me understand the difference between the type of events. You then didn't ask when you do a webinar, do you ask people to download stuff, or is there curriculums that go with any of that stuff, or do they just sit and listen? Then when you do your virtual events, how long are those virtual events? Now you've been on them. How long are they?
Just an hour or over 3 days, 3 hours each.
It's 3 or 4 hours a day over 3 days, correct?
Yep.
So if you didn't remember, you could have said, okay, now, Keenan, on your virtual events, how do you distribute the document? How do people sign up? How do they follow along in workbook and exercises, right? How do they connect with the instructor during the middle of the training? How do they do it after? You just come in and try to understand my environment and stop fucking thinking about Whova, whatever. Stop thinking about them until I lay everything at your feet, and then you stop processing the information I gave you, right? Then you ask about the leads. Is your motive to get leads? Yes or no? No. That's interesting. You put all of these on for not having leads. Where is the value to in these? Then I tell you, well, we make money, number one. Number two, we know they're so good, people start talking about them. We think over time, if they go to another place, they'll talk about gap selling. It's a brand exercise. We know we don't track it. Maybe we could, but we don't know how to track it. We're good enough knowing we're making money and we're not losing anything, and we're giving back to the community. Because remember, I told you that too. We want to give back to the community. We want people to be able to take training when their company won't do it. We want it to be affordable, right? Well, I gave you all this information, right? Then you can start seeing, where can I help this guy be successful? Notice what I did right there. Where can I help this guy be successful? Not how do I get him to buy Whova?
Yeah, I understand, Keenan. Really appreciate the feedback. It was very, very insightful in the way I should be ordering my questions and understanding someone's business, and also the double-edged sword of over-preparing, trying to come in thinking you know someone's business with and assuming some of these things.
Yep. All right, man. Are you headquartered in Whoville?
Sorry?
Are you guys headquartered in Whoville?
No, we're in San Diego, California.
Ah, okay. Well, if you ever get a chance to get to Whoville, tell the Whovillians I said hello. Fucking Whoville. What a name.
All right.
All right, here's my last parting advice to you. I think you will be served well by spending more time and understanding more about events and the type of events that Whova brings the most value to. Okay? And focus on those people. I think that's where you're going to win.
Yeah, our ICPs is more for in-person events. So virtual, I wanted to give it a shot, get some coaching from you while doing it, and especially just percent attendee myself. I was hoping to help out a little bit more, but thanks for the coaching.
All right, baby, you got it. Where's the plus? I know you've gone through the training a bunch, but send me a DM. Well, Sean, you have Sean's info. Send Sean a DM, and we will give you, as we do all of our participants, we're going to give you free access to the online training and Gap Plus.
Let's go.
Okay? So you get free access to Gap Plus, and that Gap Plus is free access to all of our live events that we do every 2 weeks, plus full access to the online training. So there you go. Thanks for showing up. I really appreciate it. It was good work, my brother.
Likewise. Thanks, Keenan. Take care.
All right, my man. Be good. All right, everybody. For the rest of you, my thing's not working. There we go. I hope you guys found this helpful. If you are new, again, I will help remind you what you just witnessed was a real sales call. Jose worked for Whoville, headquartered in Whova, headquartered in Whoville. However that worked, and he's telling me something's not working. I don't know if you guys can even still see me, but it doesn't matter. So if you have a product or service that you think ASG needs, a sales growth company, or you think I need, DM me on LinkedIn or hit me up and at info@salesgrowth.com, and we will get you on. And if you find a problem that we have, we will buy. We will buy from you if you find a problem we have and you can make our life better. All right? So DM me if you want to be on the show. Thanks for participating. Thanks for showing up. Fathom, Neft, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Until next time, everybody, you know what I'm going to say. Oh, wait, one more thing. Gap Plus. Everybody go to Gap Selling Online Training and check out Gap Plus, our new offering. I'm going to do a commercial. Our new offering. It is dope. It is the full Gap Plus online training, all 8 modules, all 8 net plus hours, plus access to live events just about every 2 weeks, and our full past library for just $79 a month. That's it. $79 a month to access all of Gap Selling training and live events and an Ask Keenan Anything once a quarter for support, etc. Best thing in the world. Go to gapsellingonlinetraining.com. Check it out. And until then, until next time, everybody, nothing but love. You know what I'm going to say. Peace. I'm out.
All I hear, go get the money. So I go get it. Hate means I do something.